Yo, what's going on, world? Welcome back to another episode of the Lucky Underdogs podcast. Special off-season edition, We got the squad here. We got a
Mm-hmm.
full squad now. So
Got
we're
the
going to do us a
team.
little roll call. So we can sound off, man. I'm going to start it off. It's your boy, DB, Devin Butler. What's going on, everybody?
It's your boy CJ in the building.
And it's your boy, Corey Holmes. I'm here, Corey in the cut. What's up?
Yes,
You know
sir,
how we feel
man.
the lucky underdogs, man. We gonna always try to shout out the underdogs, the guys who don't get the opportunities on the field, they don't really get the media coverage. But when they get the opportunities, they do your thing. They do their thing. We only got a lot to shout out, a lot of guys to shout out right now in the off season. But we're gonna keep things, keep things moving, keep things talking about Notre Dame as always. So obviously we got a lot of big news today. We definitely got to discuss as far as the playoff. I think we all need to talk a little bit about that. How everybody feeling about that. The pros and cons of the 12 team. The four. We can't get a number one seed now. We can only get a number 5. So how we feeling? Like,
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. And for those out there that aren't all the way tapped in on what CJ's talking about, they expanded the college football playoffs and they made it so that the conference champions are the top 4 seeds. So if you win in your conference championship, you got a guaranteed bye week, and everybody else after that is just the next 7 best teams. So what's happened in the news is that people have been putting it together, how Notre Dame is going to have to play at least 2 or 3 more ranked teams than the other competition and when it comes time in December for the playoffs. So that's just a little bit of background for the people out there. And I think
go ahead.
I think it's definitely going. It's tough for the Irish. I think it's definitely a little bit tougher, but I think it kind of equals out to playing the conference championship game, in my opinion.
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Yeah, you're right. I actually didn't even think about that last thing that you said. But one of the things you pointed out was that we're gonna have to play a couple more ranked teams than the other ones, and that's just the fact of the matter, right? Like for some reason, Notre Dame, we chose independence, maybe for economic reasons. Who knows? But this is just the reality of it, right? It's one of the consequences that from that. But why wouldn't we want it the harder way, right? You know what I'm saying? People got enough to say about Notre Dame. Well, if we actually make it to then the national championship and earn that, you can't say we didn't earn it the hard way, right? So it's like, you could look at it as, the glass half empty or half full, but we just got to fight to get that number 5 seed at least, so we can. So I'm not see. It's like we got to at least be that number 5 seed, but it's just like, I guess it wouldn't even matter for us if we the 5, the 6, the 7. It's like we still gonna play the number 1 seed regardless. So it's like.
Yeah,
we just
man.
gotta win.
I kind of look at it like it kind of equals out kind of on all sides, because we already kind of have that bye week already because we don't play a conference we don't play a conference championship game, and then you look at the conferences now. It's really only 2 strong conferences, SEC and Big Ten. So like, out of those 2, they're gonna be probably number 1 and number 2, and barring somebody coming from.
The ACC got some. got some good bumps.
Clemson, Clemson.
Always.
Yeah, the best team out of the ACC should be a legitimate contender.
Yeah, so we talking. I think in just my perspective, Big Ten, SEC, those gonna be the strongest 2 champions coming out most likely. ACC, probably you might get a team come out of there strong, but as far as us, we might mess around and get a Big 12 opponent the championship, a champion of the Big 12 might come out and beat Iowa State or something, and they,
Yeah, right.
what I'm saying, it might not.
Oh Lord.
And I'm not saying like,
Sheesh.
that's nothing bad, but I'm just saying, as far as for us, like I just don't see it as really affecting us that much. Like, man, as long as we get into that playoff, we got a chance to go do it. We can do it. The bye week, we already got a bye week. So if we'd had a chance to get two, I don't think we were gonna need 2 bye weeks. We'd have had 2 straight bye weeks.
No,
So,
that
right.
definitely
You don't want to
definitely
be
add to it.
Yeah, you don't want to be off the field for that long.
Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah.
I think for us, we already got a natural bye week already built in. So for us, it kind of equals out. As long as we get to that playoff, win 10 games, we good. I mean,
and you know what? With that format, I hadn't thought about it this way, but let's say we do make it in at the number 5 spot. We'll play 6, right? Like when they had the 12 team bracket would work out. Well, because you said the first 4 get a bye week.
Yeah.
So I think 5 plays 12, 6
Okay.
plays 11, like that kind of situation.
Okay.
And then,
So yeah, we would want to be 5. We would obviously want to be 5 so we could play 12. But then think about this, right? Like once we make it then to that next round, we would obviously have to play the best. I mean, would we? No, I guess we.
We'll play the lowest. I think whoever was the highest rank coming out of that bye ended up playing the lowest rank. So it honestly wouldn't be too bad for us. Like I see it being good. I think the only situation and scenario when it is really kind of like the short stick for Notre Dame is if we are a top 3 team by the end of the season. Like if we number 1 or number 2 or number 3 and we got to go backwards in the playoffs, we get ranked lower in the playoffs. That's when I can see some people having some issues about that. But even in a situation like that, that would almost certainly work in our favor because we would be better than, or at least supposedly better than the teams that we about to be playing. Like if we the number 1 team in week 11, and then the playoffs start, we number 5 and we playing the number 12 team, that should be a wash. Like that should be an easy win. Like
I'm also curious about how like the home games is going to work as far as the seeding because because I know they said like because like say like we get to like the playoffs and they said a number 25 team, if they win the ACC, they can still be a top 3 seed or a top 4 seed, whatever. So say we win that first round and we play against a Wake Forest who wins the ACC or something, and they had a good year. They get to the championship, they beat Clemson. Like they might lose 3 games or something, but like we end up playing them. So do we get that home game? So I think that's going to be a big kind of debate is kind of going forward. Like how the home games and stuff going to work. Because if we can get a home game in December,
right.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. God bless them boys playing outside in South Bend.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say it'd be nice because we're at home, but that weather's gonna be
crazy. But
we'll have the home field advantage in that sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be watching from home.
I'm definitely watching from home. I ain't gonna go to the game. Wait till they get to the later rounds. They ain't the domes. You feel me? They go to down like Dallas and Florida. The neutral sites.
So that's interesting. So they're not. So that's interesting that the new playoffs aren't going to be bowl games. Like each of those preliminary games aren't going to be bowl games. That's going to be interesting. So I wonder. Have to do a little bit more research to see which bowl games are still going to be, prevalent. So
yeah, like what are they going to do with the New Year's 6 bowls, right?
Yeah, it's going to be
now involved in the playoffs.
Or I'm gonna say, what about the teams that don't make it to the playoffs? I mean, is it just going to be just regular bowl? Like, is it just like, all right.
And are they going to take away bowls? Are they gonna cut some bowls now too? I didn't think about that either because there's gonna be less teams that now will qualify for bowls. So it's like, are we gonna see more like 5-win teams get added into these bowls? I didn't actually think about the domino effect of the playoffs. We'll see. I can imagine they probably just cut bowls.
Yeah, I think they probably gonna cut some. I mean, honestly, some of those 5-win teams, no offense to them, I know they want to play an extra game, but I mean, if you go and look at some of them games, they don't need to be. They should be. Their season need to be over with.
Right. I mean, some of these 6-6 teams.
Yeah, like these 6-6 teams, and they barely qualifying for the bowl. You see them in the bowl game, it's like, bro, y'all shouldn't even be here. Like, come on now. Like,
this is not it.
Yeah,
this is not it. This ain't quality football.
You need to flush y'all down the toilet bowl
football.
Y'all already checked out. Y'all on vacation.
You know what was interesting to me that I saw? was that these playoffs with the new playoffs now, these college football teams got a chance of playing 16 and 17 games in the season. That's crazy. Like that's an NFL season. So I mean, I guess it's crazy, but it's also showing the longevity that you're gonna have to battle through once you get to that next level. And you know, a lot of people say, and we all been here, like we've all been there when the best people keep getting better and stay healthier as the season goes on.
Yeah.
You know, you're taking that attention to detail. So I think it's definitely gonna be something that's we'll see in the next year or two. Like the first year, it'll probably not play too much of a difference. But I think moving forward after that, like in the next 2 or 3 or 4 years, we're gonna start seeing a real gap start showing, especially when it comes to those kids, to those schools that invest in their nutrition and their strength and conditioning programs. You're gonna see a lot of those programs are gonna start really separating themselves. And I think Notre Dame is definitely one of those programs for sure.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting you say that because you're really right about that. The next probably 5 years, whoever has got the best nutrition, strength and conditioning, kind of the support staff, you're gonna see them taking big strides. Like I mean, obviously the teams like Georgia, Alabama, they still gonna be good, but like as far as it's a long season, 16 with. You might play. You got a conference championship game. You got 17. You might have 17 games. So it's gonna be a lot of injuries. Like I mean, it's gonna be a lot more injuries than.
In other words, the real and the fake will be exposed.
Yeah,
programs
for sure.
And the fake programs will be exposed.
Yeah,
if you want to play big time, like basically what's happened, right? Is all of those schools that's been left out, like the Florida States this past year, all of those teams that. Oh, come on, we had a shot. Like we're one of the top teams in the country. Like, all right, you guys got your shot.
Got your shot now.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Those teams who aren't used to, like you said, playing championship games and playing in like the college football playoffs, playing those additional games, they're gonna now begin to feel, if they can make it that far, what it's like to even play those extra games and be able to play at a high level for that long and that deep into the season. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Like I said, the new college football playoff system will expose the real and it will expose the fake.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, I'm sure y'all remember back in the day when Paul Longo was the strength coach. He used to say, when you get to like week 7 or 8, everybody's accumulated those little nicks and bruises, and nobody's at 100%. So whoever can, with their nutrition and with their strengthening and stuff like that, whoever can rebuild and not lose as much and still be at 90%, at 92% when it gets to the later games, them going to be the people that's winning football games
and like you said earlier, Jeff, Notre Dame, we're going to prove to be one of those real programs because I mean,
for sure.
I mean, it's evident. Can we first of all, actually, that just reminded me of what we wanted to talk about today. Because I don't know if y'all was watching ESPN. They had a college football playoff conversation on ESPN. Stephen A. Smith had a lot to say about the Notre Dame program, right? Why do they keep getting all of this attention year after year after year after year, and they don't win nothing? They don't win nothing. Well, first of all, what are y'all thoughts on that? I'll share what my thoughts are. What are y'all's thoughts on it?
I mean, for me, you really,
big hater.
Obviously, big hater. But for him, he's a media guy. He's gonna say what he got to say. But as far as Notre Dame, like we know inside the guys it produces, the draft picks, as far as people graduating. Obviously, I mean, we ain't have a national championship to prove or nothing, but the far as the classes we put out and the amount of talent we have had in the school in and out, it's been top five in the country with the past 20, 25 years. So like, I mean, maybe we ain't won a championship, but that don't got nothing to do with what, obviously what we got going on, the talent with that's at the school, it's tough. I mean, Alabama done won basically 50% of them since we was in college. So, at the end of the day, man, it's like, hey, we ain't got one, but still we Notre Dame, we put out the best and we play with the best at all the times.
Yeah, I think Stephen A. is definitely one of those guys that probably was sick of hearing about Notre Dame when we was at our height, and now he's just been so ready and just chomping at the bit to be like, yes, get Notre Dame out of the center of the spotlight. They're not the center no more. But no matter what you do, man, like that gold is going to be right there front and
Yeah.
center in college football. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's a historic story program, and we still competing. Like, it's not like, it's not like we have not been competing. We haven't been to the playoffs. We haven't been to a natty. Like, we've been doing those things. We've been putting dudes first round, top 10. Like, we've been them guys. So
Right.
it's tough to, when you're saying we not relevant, like, it just sounds hating, because anybody who pays attention to football really knows that Notre Dame is always consistently relevant in the conversation of great football being played.
Dev, I'm glad you said it, man. He just sound like a hater. That's all
Yeah.
he doing.
Nah,
hating.
for sure,
He's really neglecting the obvious. He's really neglecting the obvious. Like, yeah, we haven't won anything, right? But is Notre Dame not consistently producing 9 to 10 plus win seasons, right? Like, yeah, we haven't won the big game, but are we still not in the conversation of like the elite programs in the country? And then on top of that, like, you're again neglecting the obvious. Anytime Notre Dame travels anywhere, the game's sold out. No matter what part of the country that you're at, that's not going to change. The fan base, the tradition at Notre Dame, that's not going nowhere. That's not going nowhere. And then I always like to ask people this question, right? Like, we had a solid team this year. We saw how we were competing against Ohio State. We can still compete with like the best programs in the country, and we still each year produce the best recruiting classes in the country. So we're still getting those kids to buy in and come to Notre Dame. But then what if next year we just win a national championship, right? Like we didn't expect, during Alabama's run that Georgia was right around the corner. Georgia wasn't, winning games like crazy. It was Florida.
Yeah.
Right.
Then it was Bama. Then like we saw the cycle of all of these teams coming in and out. Notre Dame gotta be. I put money on it that Notre Dame wins a natty in 5 years, at least 5 years.
You gotta admit, I feel like that.
Come on, let's be real.
I mean, I think
let's be real. Come on, now.
I think especially now. I mean, especially I know, saving out the picture, it definitely opened it up, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, saving closed it off. Because everybody knew like one team was gonna be in there. It was gonna be Alabama versus somebody, or whoever else won the SEC. So at this point, it's like, all right, it's kind of open now. Like,
and again, we're neglecting the obvious, bro. Like we played on a team that if we were a couple plays away, right? Like, yeah, granted, like we know what happened against Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl, right? But what if that game goes our way? We win the game, yeah, if buts, candy nuts, whatever. But like what I'm trying to say is
if we'd have won that Stanford game, we would have been in that playoff.
From like, all right, well, Notre Dame, they did have a natty about 6 years ago, and I mean they do get all the top recruiting classes. I mean, yeah, like let's be real, they got a shot.
Yeah, I think it's definitely some haterade going on over at ESPN a little bit. Not to send too big of shots, but just a little bit of haterade. They sipping, they pumping through the cafeteria at that joint. But man, at the end of the day, that's what Notre Dame is for. Like, we are the subject of a lot of hate, and it's almost a popular thing to do is to hate Notre Dame. Like, if you like Notre Dame, that's almost like, oh, of course, who wouldn't like Notre Dame? Who wouldn't root for Notre Dame? It's almost more popular to be like, oh, I don't like Notre Dame.
Right.
Hey, Notre Dame, I'll equate Notre Dame is almost like being the college football Cowboys, in my opinion. Like, people love to see the failure.
No,
people love to see the failure of Notre Dame, bro. Like, when Notre Dame is failing, just like when the Cowboys ain't winning, people be happy out the woodwork.
It's true,
like, bro.
It's true.
Like, who are you? Why is you hating? Like, what you cheering for? Like, your team not even. You know what I mean? So,
well, see, now you didn't what's the word? Juxtaposed me in the odds. I definitely do not like the Cowboys.
Because you've been on that side.
I definitely do not like the Cowboys.
I'm definitely on the side of not liking the Cowboys. It's like,
but yeah, I mean, it's the reality. Like, Notre Dame is like, it's America's team almost, and like, what do we call the Cowboys? America's team. So yeah, no, I get it. It is true. It is true. Yes, because like when you ask somebody like, why do you hate Notre Dame? What's their answer? They don't have one.
Because they just like
just because they always say that we're overrated. That's usually the biggest. We overrated. Like, they just get too much hype. Well, because we got our own TV station. We own TV every week. Like that's why we always hype. Like we got our own station. Like come on, man.
Like,
Don't hate.
Don't hate. Like it's just
Yeah,
what else? Don't be mad at the money.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at the money.
Yeah.
You know? Say we doing good business and we playing football over here. Like,
we got smart
what
people.
You mad about that for?
We got smart people up top there, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. I mean, we haven't talked about this, but I'm actually glad that Denbrock's coming back. We talked about that?
Yeah. I think we talked about it, but we haven't got the chance to talk about it with you though. Because I know he recruited you too, didn't he?
He helped out. Because he was the receiver coach when I was there, so he definitely was a part of the process. But man, like I'm telling you, like the years when we had some explosive offenses, when Denbrock was in his bag, play calling, right? Like he was a real aggressive play caller. I just hope that he can really. I mean, we saw what he did at LSU. Right in this past year, they had a historically good offense actually. Right?
Yeah, they had like 2 receivers with like 1,500 receiving yards.
Yeah.
Going up.
He was a Heisman Trophy quarterback, but like dude had like 50-some touchdowns, right? Like I mean, at the end of the day, the head coach got to put you in a position. The play callers got to put you in a position to make those plays. So hopefully he can take some of the success he's already had at Notre Dame and then some of the success he had at LSU and bring it back and here to Notre Dame, because if we can mix in all of that, we're still good for our offense.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit. We just talked about how good of a guy Denbrock is too. Just as far as bringing those young guys along, bringing guys who already there along. He knows the people. He knows the guys that go to Notre Dame. He's been there for a long time. This is his 3rd stint there, or maybe 4th, 3rd, whatever. But he knows the guys there. Like he knows how to the character of the guys and everything. So I think it's really good for that whole locker room, because you get somebody who chill, and he also knows what's going on, and he trying to get you to that next level. So.
Right.
Yeah. Like the best thing that I can say about Coach Denbrock is he's one of those coaches that, like, when he walks through the locker room, everybody respects him, and everybody wants to, say what's up to him. And when we out on the field, like, everybody wants to look good to Coach Denbrock. Like, whether we doing a special teams drill and he's just got the dudes practicing the gunner work, like, I'm trying to show Coach, like, I can do my over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure that Coach knows, like, he's one of those guys that if he had his confidence in you, if he's talking good about you upstairs, whether offense, defense, or special teams, it's going to be good for you as a player coming through there. Like, and I always liked Coach Denbrock. He was definitely a funny dude. Playing corner, we used to definitely have some chats.
He definitely gonna gun you too. He definitely gonna gun you.
Oh yeah, he's gonna talk. He's gonna talk. He's gonna gun you quick. He's gonna see if you got something to you. Like, then that's what makes people better. Like, in my opinion, like. If you don't have no pressure, you definitely ain't gonna get no diamonds. So it's straight like that. It's straight like that. All right. So before we get up out of here, we got a comment on this good old NCAA 24 coming out show. I know y'all seen the little
25,
24, 25.
I think 25. I don't know. I think they're gonna make it. It should be 20.
So it should
be 25. It should be 25.
It should be 25, right? Because it's normally like the year of like the national.
So it should be 25. Okay. Just make sure you get it. I ain't want you to
NCAA 25. Who they gonna have on? I saw they had the they released like a little snippet or trailer.
It was like a little video. But I guess it's anybody's guess, I guess, who will be on the cover. They need to just put like, I guess, would it have to be Jaden Daniels?
I think Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's the Heisman.
That'd be an easy. The Heisman, the previous Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, I feel like that'd make the most sense, right?
Yeah, definitely. Either that or whoever was on the Natty team, or like the Natty.
Michigan, JJ.
You're right.
Maybe. No, that's not a bad one. I think Michigan.
I wouldn't be too upset. That would make some sense. Yeah, that would make some sense. Or honestly, if they just wanted to do one of those, like, we got 4 people on the cover.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
mad at that.
Especially since it's like a reboot almost. Like you kind of want to just, you don't want to single one person. Like, you just kind of want to make it like, hey, it's college football right now. You feel me?
Yeah,
like,
they're gonna go with what is safe politically right decision. I don't know what it's.
They about to throw Bo Nix on that joint. They about to throw Bo Nix on that joint. You feel me? They finna keep it super straight laced. You feel me?
I'm
Say
weak.
Bo Nix and let's just be
Bo
happy.
Nix.
But now they might do it like how they used to do it, where they got the different versions. Depending on the game system, they got a different person on the
Oh, yeah,
giant.
you're right.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe
I
they'll
tell you
do
what,
like that.
though, I was pissed that y'all made the cut because I know you guys are older than me. Y'all were actually in the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? They stopped making it the year I got to college.
It's
Literally
sick,
the
man.
year
that was rough, bro.
I was the class
That
of
was rough.
2014, and NCAA 14 was the last NCAA. Come on, why they
I
do
had
me
to,
like that?
I had to download. I think I had to download myself in the game just to get in there.
Yeah,
Nah,
did
me
you?
too.
I had to
to do
download
the same. I
myself.
had
You
to do
couldn't
the same.
even. I
So
was
yeah, it
bro.
was like walk. Yeah, that
Man,
last year
I
they probably
remember
didn't
that,
put
man.
much effort into it. They knew it was up. They knew it was their last game.
Man,
Yeah.
But that 14
I'm always
though
so sick.
that joint
It
was
was a
a
good
good
game.
bump though. That joint was a
Listen,
great
That
game.
was a good
NCAA
game.
14 was a great game, bro.
NCAA
Yeah.
like is always was to me 50 times better than Madden. Like it was. It had never had Madden had nothing on NCAA. When it was gone, man, I was so sad. I was so sad losing NCAA. That road to the Heisman, man, I'll never forget.
The road to glory joint was that, bro. Like
that's the reason I played
gonna
football.
put like
That's the reason
they gonna put it
as a kid.
Yeah, nah, facts.
Playing the Reggie Bush NCAA back in the day.
Reggie
Was
Bush.
05?
Man.
I know y'all remember when they first came out with the joint and you used to have to go to class. You had to take little tests and all that. I'm like, oh, bro, like hold on.
You get the girl.
It's my escape. I ain't supposed to be going to school on this. What's up?
You feel me?
You start off with the girl. And you start upgrading once you get the higher up. You start doing your thing.
That joint was fire, bro. The road to glory was definitely.
I'm definitely buying that the first day. First day it come out.
Oh,
definitely buying that the first day it come out. Yeah, I could just remember college, like when we were actually at school playing that game. Yo. It was some intense. I don't know if you guys even stayed in the same dorm I stayed in. There were some intense games played at Knott Hall on campus at Notre Dame.
That good old summertime ball.
It got real intense.
Y'all know about the NCAA 14. You play a player lock, and y'all know about the player lock. Everybody getting on one player. Everybody getting on one player. Hey, NCAA was different, man.
Oh my god!
Listen, I'm actually excited, bro. I'm excited for the recruiting. I want to see what they're gonna do with the recruiting as far as like.
Yeah, like they're gonna have the NIL.
They gotta throw some NIL. They're gonna hey.
I know y'all remember when they let you play the high school games. They let you play like the last 4 of your high school. They had to make city names and all that. Like what?
Oh, you taking me back? I forgot about that. State championship.
Yeah. That chain was turned. Nah. They was doing things on NCAA, man. They was doing things on that giant. So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do on this one. Like it's definitely a lot of updates that they need to make. And if they do that joint even halfway, like how they do 2K My Player, I think it's for sure gonna just fly off the shelves, bro. Like it's gone. 100%. Like they're gonna get hella money off of that one.
I mean, just with it being away for as long as it was, it's gonna do crazy now. Regardless, regardless of even if the feedback at first is people just hating, they're saying like it's not this, it's not that. Regardless of the feedback, I feel like it's gonna go crazy for sure.
I'm gonna pre-order the moment I can pre-order. I can tell you that.
Honestly, right? Yeah, I might
say soon ASAP, yo. Like I ain't wasting.
I ain't playing no time.
Not a second.
Not a
second, Slim.
Right.
Nah, I feel that, man. Well, yeah, fellas. It's definitely been real. It's been a real one with some real ones.
Yeah,
you feel me?
So
another episode of the Lucky Underdogs wrapped up, man. I'm proud of y'all, bro, man. Just want to say that. I'm proud of y'all.
For sure, man. We proud of you.
Guys, man. My guys.
Man. For sure, man. So appreciate y'all for tapping in, as always. This is the Lucky Underdogs, brought to you by Believe Network and Goodman Productions. Thank y'all for tuning in, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, however. We appreciate y'all. Y'all make this joint go round. So, yeah, we'll tap in till the next time. It's your boy DB.
It's your boy CJ.
It's Corey checking out.
We out of here.
Peace.